Guys, I just picked up a few things from the drugstore that I wanted to put to the test, and I thought why not film a first impression so we can take a look at how these products work upon first application. So I grabbed stuff mainly from Wet n Wild from their new Photo Focus line, as well as a new mascara from Jordana. So I'm really excited to try each of these products. Let me introduce you to what I ended up getting. I really wanted to try the concealer from the Photo Focus line of Wet n Wild, so I got this one in the shade Light Ivory. It looks like the lightest shade that they had, at least in my Walgreens. So I picked this one up and I'm excited to give that a try. I actually don't have any foundation or concealer on my face right now. I'm not going to use foundation today. I'm just going to go in with some concealer and powder to see, how this really looks. And then speaking of powder, I actually ended up picking up one of the Wet n Wild PhotoFocus pressed powders. Now, I picked up the shade Golden Tan, which is the darkest shade that they have, at least again in my Walgreens. And I wanted to try this as a bronzer. I actually already own the shade that matches my skin tone, so this is Warm Light. And I don't really like it as an all-over face powder, mainly because I need my powder to be long-lasting and mattifying. And for me, this is just too lightweight. It does a really good job of blurring, and so I can set my under eye with it. So I'm gonna use that today to set this concealer. But for an all-over face powder, it's not my favorite because of the super fine texture. It doesn't do what I need it to for mattifying. But I have heard people rave about the darker shades for bronzing, and I agree that if this is a good shade for bronze for me, that the texture would be epic because it should be really smooth and not patchy looking. So we're gonna try that out. I have not been super thrilled with my Milani eyeshadow primer. It is good, don't get me wrong, but for me, and I guess how oily my lids are, I don't consider them overly oily, but there's something about the silicone-y texture of the Milani primer that does still make my shadows crease. So I have to be really careful to set with powder or with a light eyeshadow and then go in with my eye look, and it still creases sometimes, but that's the best way for me to use that Milani primer. But I've heard really great things about the Wet n Wild primer. So I picked this one up. I've heard it compared to the Urban Decay Primer Potion. So I'm gonna see if it's any different than what I'm already using. I recently made a statement that I'm terrible at liquid liner, so I thought why not grab some and see how that goes. It's been a while since I have attempted liquid liner. So I picked up another product from Wet n Wild. This is a new formula, they say, of their liquid eyeliner. And so it's called Mega Liner Liquid Eyeliner, and I have mine in black. So I'm gonna give this a try. It's all about my skill level. Like I'm just bad at it, so we'll see how this goes. And then last but not least, I picked up a mascara. One of you was telling me that you love the Jordana Best Lash, and I have tried the original one in the black and purple packaging before, and for some reason it didn't work great for me. Now it's been a while, so I was thinking maybe I should try it again, but then I saw that they had different varieties, so I wanted to give another variety a try, so I picked up the Best Length Extreme, so I'm gonna give this one a shot. All right, let's go in with that concealer first. This concealer is pretty darn brightening and it has really decent coverage. It has almost like a moussey texture. It's very lightweight. I can't actually feel it on my under eyes at all, and I like that a lot. It doesn't appear to be overly drying either, so I'm kind of liking it. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more. Since I'm not wearing foundation, I'm gonna do a little bit around my nose and chin and areas that I get a little bit red, so kind of down the center of my face. I also used a brush and my fingertip for blending, and I like the way both turned out, although I think my fingertip blended out a little bit more seamlessly. There was a little less of the product collecting in the fine lines under my eyes. Using the Photofocus pressed powder that I already have, I'm going to go in and set my whole face before I go in with the darker shade in Golden Tan for bronzing. Here's the difference on those shades in the pan. So this is the one that I used for all over my skin, and then this is the Golden Tan that I'm using to attempt to bronze. We'll see how that goes. I definitely think that this gave me some bronze, but if you had medium skin or even light skin that's just a shade darker than mine, I don't think this would show up super well because it is very faint on me, but I like it. There is a very nice softness to it because of the really finely textured powder, but also because the shade is just a couple up from my regular skin tone, so it doesn't look like overly obvious that I've bronzed. It looks really soft and nice. It just gives my skin a little bit more color, and I think even kind of evens things out a little bit. I don't know, I just think it looks way better than it did before using this as a bronzer. So I'm definitely going to keep playing with this and using it as a bronzer, but so far I like it. My one big concern now is just that the regular shade that I have in Warm Light, I don't find this lasting on my skin. So maybe that's because I primarily like to use it in my T-zone where I'm oiliest, and with this more on the perimeter of my face, hopefully it will last longer, but we'll have to see about that. All right, you guys, going in now with the Wet n Wild Shadow Primer. It comes out of the tube in like a really pale skin tone, but I'm guessing it doesn't give much coverage. Yeah, it looks like it shears right out as I blend it onto my fingertips. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. Wow, right away it feels much more sticky and less slippy than my Milani eyeshadow primer. I'm feeling like I've got high hopes for this because it's just too slippy, that Milani one. I like it, but I don't love it, and I want to love it, especially even though it's all drugstore price. I mean, this one is like $4. That's amazing. All right, I'm gonna do a quick shadow look with my Stila palette. This is actually relatively new to me, so I'm excited to continue using it. But I have the Perfect Me Perfect Hue palette in Fair Light. I'm gonna grab a little bit of blush from here and then do a really natural shadow look, and we'll see how that wears over this primer. All right, next in the look is gonna be this liquid liner. Wish me luck. I am traditionally very bad at this, but I wanted to give this a try. It does say all along the side that it is smudge proof and dries fast, that it stays put. So those all sound like great things. Let's hope I can handle actually lining my eyes with this kind of product.
So final thoughts, I'm kind of loving how this liner looks in terms of how rich and black it is, but my skill level clearly needs to improve before it looks better.
Hey guys, so I somehow completely lost the footage of applying the mascara and like the finishing segment of that liquid liner yesterday. So I wanted to make sure that you had a chance to see it, so I went ahead and went in with all of the same products today. I just have a slightly different lip and brow going on, but I used the same concealer and liner and mascara and everything. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Jordana mascara. This is the Best Length Extreme, so they have like 3 varieties, and I'm curious about the volumizing one and about the original one. Even though I've tried that before, I kind of want to give them all a go. So for this one, my thoughts are that the rubberized bristle wand is pretty big and some of the bristles are pretty long. The short bristles on it I like, but I feel like they can't reach my lashes very well because of how very long some of the bristles are. So it's kind of problematic in that way. But it does turn out okay, and I find that the flexibility of these bristles means that even though it's not a natural bristle one, it doesn't actually irritate my eyes, so that's like a big deal for me. I have to say on day 2, I did a much better job with the liner that was a train wreck yesterday, and I will have to keep practicing. It's still not perfect, but I love how rich black it is, so that's kind of exciting. And then this mascara I'm going to continue to give a go, although I have a feeling I might like one of the other formulas better, just because I really love my lashes to be like va-voom, and these are just sort of like voom, or meh. They're good, but not as great as I know they could be. Impressions are it's good, and I'm going to keep using it and see if I can work some more magic out of it. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave you with a photo of yesterday's final look just so you can see, and thank you so much for watching and for bearing with me as I randomly lose footage of my video. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.